Does anybody else have this issue with their spouse or wife where Amanda's just been hounding me to cut the grass?
Alex just asked me yesterday if we should cut it. And my response was to go out there and look and step through it. And
when she asks, is that her
not
subtle
always,
way of saying go do it?
No, because before Alex got pregnant again, she would happily do it herself, and I would feel bad.
Because Amanda dropped this bomb on me. Oh, it seems like everybody in the neighborhood's cut their grass.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad news right there. She means it then. Yeah, she means business, and you're in trouble. But no, here's what I would tell her.
And let me tell you,
honey, you can't cut grass when it's that wet. It's counterproductive.
No, she gets that, but she blames me for that. Well, if you had done it this weekend, you wouldn't have been able to use Tuesday or Monday as an excuse.
I went out yesterday.
I said to her, I'll cut the grass when I'm done with the show today. And her answer was, I have to see it to believe it.
That's harsh. Also, it might rain again today.
I hate cutting the grass.
Why?
Because I don't like it.
What about it don't you like?
I don't like when people say it's therapeutic and it puts their mind at ease and there's some kind of escape that comes with it. I don't get that at all.
Because your escape is sitting on the couch watching the Timberwolves.
I don't.
Or something.
Right.
To that effect.
So if I go and work out, I need to either read something or watch something while it's happening. I couldn't just go to a track. I couldn't drive down the Chartiers Houston and run around their track 12 times.
What about listening to music or listening to a podcast?
No.
You have to read or watch.
I have to see something, yeah.
How hard are you really working out if you're reading?
I'm putting that slope or I'm putting that incline at maximum on the treadmill.
Donnie,
what?
If he's power walking and reading at the same time.
That's more than you're doing.
I almost said a bad word there. I got a messed up knee, Chaluch.
I played 3 basketball games in 2 hours that were highly competitive the other day.
What were you reading while you played?
The defense.
Season on the brink?
Yeah, I just don't like cutting the grass. I
got no issue with it.
I think that there's men out there that yearn for it and crave it.
I like the guys who cut good patterns and take pride in their grass cutting patterns.
I'd love to show up at that guy's house and light a burning bag of dog crap on his front porch.
Guy that cuts his grass into a nice intricate pattern can probably kick your ass for lighting dog crap on his front porch.
Guy has too much time on his hands, needs to get a life.
Maybe he's got a life cutting the grass and working the heavy bag, and you're going to find out about that.
Not a fan of it.
Donnie, thoughts?
You know what I don't like about it? It's like their way of trying to brag and say, look how good I am at this.
Poni might be getting a call from my father soon. He used to, whenever my parents still lived here, he would cut the grass about 90 times a summer.
90?
See,
probably
90. Right. See,
probably not that much, but a lot.
More than once a week?
Yes, absolutely. Probably 3 times.
I just think I just think people take way too much pride in it. Cut the grass.
When you watch a golf tournament, when you watch Augusta National on TV, would you not say that one of the things that appeals to you about that course is how pristine it looks? That's done by grass cutters.
But what does that have to do with my backyard?
You don't want your backyard to be pristine and the envy of the neighborhood?
No.
Why not?
I don't get that at all.
Do people come over?
Yes.
Do you think they look at your grass and go, man, Poni maintains a scraggly, bad-looking yard?
I don't want a lawn that's that manicured. Because then people come over and they're uncomfortable about what they do on your yard, what they do on your lawn. Yes, they do.
No, they're not.
Oh, yes.
You've had neighbors come up. It doesn't sound like you know this from experience because your lawn doesn't look good enough.
We had a friend, one of my friends, Ian Manzano's mom was so mean, and we used to go over his house, and if we laid a bike down on their yard, or if somebody, heaven forbid, spit on their grass.
So Mrs. Manzano was the problem
here. She would call my parents.
So you were scarred because Ian Manzano's mom.
So then I would actually go and do worse, I would secretly do things to their lawn or to their yard when they weren't looking.
Like what?
It had an adverse effect. It had the reverse of an intended effect. She made me want to go out of my way to ruin their grass.
I had a friend like that who's
laying bikes down on it.
That's weird.
Because she was like, if you lay it down there too long, it's going to kill the grass, and then we're going to have a brown spot in our yard. Shove it.
Yeah, that's wrong. Did they have a dog, by the way, these people?
No, because they didn't want the dog to
pee on the grass. I had a friend whose mom was like that with the formal living room in the house. You know how people don't use it? It's like a showpiece room.
Did they have plastic on their couches?
No,
and
but
chairs?
she would clean it every day. So she had one of those vases that's filled with like the kind of clear looking marbles, right? You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
like a
of course.
fake plant. So we found out she was so hardcore about the cleaning. One of the our other buddies put like a Tootsie Roll or something wrapped way down in the vase that it would have been invisible to the naked eye.
She found it?
The next day, he goes over, it's gone. She goes, I found a Tootsie Roll in the vase. The one thing I will agree with you on, to spend that much time on it.
Oh, it's obsessive compulsive behavior.
Your dad, Donnie, I hate to sit both sides of this little fence
No,
here,
you're on my side. You can say it.
but to cut the grass maybe 3 times a week starts to get into OCD territory.
He was so serious about it that I never did it. Like, even as I got old enough to.
But you have to realize how great that was for you. You never had to learn.
It was, but yeah, he didn't want me to mess up his patterns.
I think Pony, though, is ultimately using his buddy's mom from childhood as like a deflection tactic to, shove off the fact that he just doesn't want to do it.
But Amanda thinks it's like an affront to my manhood that I don't care about the grass as much as I should.
Like,
she
feels like the inside of the house she likes to decorate and things, and she feels like you should be the man of the outside.
But she's like, you should really, when you drive up to the house and you see that the grass is long, you should really feel a level of shame when you see that.
I think that's a little much.
Thank you.
I think that's a little much. Our grass in the backyard is what's long. The grass in the front yard, I got these stupid freaking rodents creating World War I trenches.
I mean, my preference would be to pay somebody to do it because that, to me, as a blue-collar guy,
the economy. Well,
exactly.
No. Blue-collar guy cuts his own grass.
Blue-collar guy supports blue-collar businesses and blue-collar workers who do it.
But if you're a blue-collar guy, you would just
Blue-collar
do it yourself.
No, wrong.
Oh, you're saying game recognized game for
Blue-collar
blue-collar?
recognizes blue-collar, exactly.
I think nothing that we have come up with recently on this show pisses our listeners off more than when you call yourself a blue-collar guy.
Wrong, because several people came up to me yesterday at the Pirates game, and they were appreciative that somebody like me had the blue-collar workers back, Chris.